guess these features are just good snag points for line, hey?
Yeah. It's like steaks.
It's like there's more line over here, actually. Down.
Do you want me to stop the ship?
I want to, that's fine.
Cool.
Roger. It continues that way there.
Well, after having fused sponges the whole dive, we've now come into the sponge haven.
Yeah. Continues down and to the left there.
Yep.
All right, good there.
The only thing that could be bad is if you fly between two peaks on your sides or something.
Yep.
All right, no negative thoughts now.
No.
Yeah, what the heck?
Sorry. I meant we're good.
No, it's a good point, though.
No, I
Could be
just
line
mean it's
between
all
peaks.
flat, and then it's just where it's stuck. On the next local feature, it gets stuck.
Mm-hmm. Gonna look off in the distance a little.
We're about done with that ship move. If you want to wait and explore a little left and right of you, or I can keep going forward.
Sure. So they want to get to that waypoint. We can just, I guess we only have 10 minutes left, so it's up to Tom, but.
Yeah, let's just keep going forward. And
yeah, I think
will
that's
go on
good
for a
because there's
while.
nothing we can really do
Yeah.
in the next 10 minutes. Just keep progressing.
Yeah. No, I'm just curious what's going on around this.
Roger that.
And being careful as we progress.
Sorry, I'm giving you
Or being careful. You have to be careful. There might be a giant squid at the top of this.
Let's get there.
A dream come true.
We're holding out hope.
On the move. Nice.
Most of these fish up here are widow rockfish, these brown ones. There's some red, looks like a starry rockfish. 2 of them down below. There's a cow caught in the crevice up above the lasers.
And those are actually cod, like gadiformes?
No,
No, still rockfish.
it's like a lingcod's not a ling or a cod, but they give it the
Great.
name lingcod. And the cow cod's neither a cow nor a cod.
The cow I never would have guessed. Definitely thought it was a cow.
Kim, would you mind looking down a little on the camera there? So I don't keep yarding on you. Thank you. Yeah, looking down on the cam. Yeah. I think you're great right there, though.
This is great complexity of habitat.
Oh,
More line.
definitely vertical complexity.
Yeah, that's the thing in terms of habitats. You get the people think just, hey, on land here's a valley or here's a mountain, and then the water you get a kelp forest or seagrass, but it's really 3-dimensional, and so all of a sudden you get a giant rocky outcropping like this just in very little space. If you move a couple meters, you can be in really deep water or really shallow, and you get all kinds of species. This is an amazing feature.
Yeah, it really is.
It is really cool. Something you don't really expect as we've been going on low relief, like mud and low relief rock, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, I think the few slopey features on this map, at least the one at the beginning of this watch and now, have been really cool. And I think the ones above us are likely to be similar. I wish we had the backscatter, but I think that was what Rennie was looking at earlier, from another ship or somewhere. But it was.
Oh, there
very
is a
discreet.
line in the column
Oh,
here.
wow.
Stop the ship?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, just a small feature.
I'm going to mark that.
Yep. Well, it looks like that is fun. All right, Ben. I'm gonna look down below us here, and then we can jump. We can just kind of move. Keep on,
Let me just situate.
so you don't set Bob up on a.
Yeah,
line.
yours 030.
Yeah, we can keep going on what we were going on.
Yeah, you're good?
Yep.
I'm going to be west to you. That's good.
You can bump it up to 0.3, or else we might hand over with the ship move.
Good call.
Thank you.
Starting to look like a shipwreck. all this.
Mhm.
Okay, I want to find a real shipwreck with lines and things in them. That's
I
not
think they,
No. No.
yeah, or else we can at least get him off of this line and stuff. Then, yeah, drop down over there. I agree. Oh, Raj. And let's bump that up to maybe 50 meters, because if the tether is almost 30, then
Yeah, I can keep on going.
I just don't want to park him anywhere near this. I wonder what that was. There's like so many different things coming off of it.
Yeah. Must be something floating.
Yeah, I thought it might have been like some kind of traps, but I haven't seen it trapped. So I'm just wondering if the long liner got caught up and then tried to either take it off, or if the line itself just kept, since it's floating, it kept wrapping around the rock and slowly got caught.
Yeah.
There's no gear on that line, is there?
Not that we could see.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's a long line and the
Yeah.
ganyons have all fallen off.
Yeah, Kim brought up a good point. It might also be on the backside too.
Well, we had a little bit of a perspective on that at first.
All right, so I'm at a depth of 105. So we'll keep Argus maybe above 105 just while we go across it this way.
Yeah, Argus is about to be past where we stopped. Look at it.
So switch in.
so our next shift is about to come on pretty soon, but once we're safely past the gear, we're pursuing a pretty interesting feature and heading off to waypoint CE. We skipped CE. and we're finding a really high degree of rugosity and complexity of the structure, making it a little challenging to move along, but also as a result, also finding a fair number of fish. And we've determined that if you see a large school of fish zipping by in the form of a stampede, Tom Leidig, the expert in these matters, has designated a fish peed. So please continue using that terminology. If everybody's on, Tom, maybe I should get off and let you do the transition.
Sure, that'll work.
Unless
Thanks,
like
Chris. Thanks for all your knowledge.
Hey, it was fantastic to join you here. It was my pleasure. Thanks for all the mentoring, and look forward to hopefully doing more of these in the future with you. Hey, thanks,
Sounds
Jess,
good.
and the whole team. Ben, you all were, Mary, you all were great. Super fantastic to work with you.
So we're right in the middle of a shift change right now. We're also dealing with the floating line. So I will be signing off and Lizzie Duncan will be taking over for me. So thanks everybody from the 4 to 8 shift, and good luck to everybody on the 8 to 12 watch. I'll meet you in Nautilus, Lizzie.
All right, test. Awesome. Thanks, Tom.
Good evening, shoreside. This is H12 on the ship.
Ooh, this is really up right here.
Yeah, to CE.
Tess, this is Julie.
Yeah, I've been following along. I've been trying to make my next dive plan, but generally I think I've been following pretty closely. And you said Abby has some potential collections?
Sorry,
Julie,
what?
you can switch
Hello,
up.
shoreside.
Yeah, Lizzie and I
Hello.
are chatting right now, and she'll be back on SPL in a moment.
Roger, thank you. Can we keep moving 005, or shall we wait for Lizzie to come back on?
All right.
Yes, we can keep going that way.
Roger, thank you.
All right.
Bridge, nav. You good to go, Bob?
See 005?
005.
All right.
Do you hear me?
What?
This is Julie.
That's where I'm where I got left, man.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Is that better? Nope.
Let me know when you're good for a ship move, Bob.
How far are we going?
Just small
Let me see if I
steps.
can
30
find my
meters. 005.
It's huge.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little low.
Like all the way across the room.
Is that better?
Okay.
Tests.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Cool. Bridge,
How about
nav.
now?
Should I come down a little bit, or was I flying up here to have...
I think
30 meters, bearing 005.
we just want to make sure we can see everything. I don't know about flying so high.
Because then our visibility
You can't see lines very good if you're way up in the air like that. Yeah, I would prefer.
Ship move is underway.
Okay.
Lizzie, how's my volume now? Okay. And I'm on both SPL and Nautilus, correct?
Okay, so am I.
Okay. So which one would you like me on, Lizzie? SPL or Nautilus?
SPL,
Nautilus?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
you definitely
I'm
want
on.
SPL
Okay.
so everyone can hear you.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
And both Julie and
There's
Lizzie are
always-
coming in loud and clear in the van.
Ah, thanks, Sam.
Great.
Sweet. Is this a good time to start off with some introductions?
Sure can. We're just doing a short ship move here towards CE on the same bearing that the previous watch was moving up. And then once we get there, we can decide how to continue to CJ. In the meantime, Samantha Wishnak, navigator for the H12.
And Bob Waters, I'm the Herc pilot tonight.
Yep, I'm Paul Glick, I'm the Argus pilot.
And I'm Al Santos, the video engineer.
And in the back row, I'm Steve Oskovich on data logger.
Awesome. Do you want to introduce yourself, Julie?
Sure. I'm Julie Bursack. I'm a watch lead for tonight. I'm the team lead for education and outreach with the Challenge National Marine Sanctuary.
Awesome. And I'm Lizzie Duncan, and I also work for the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary, and I'm a research ecologist on our research team. And we just changed ships, and we're just west of San Miguel Island. We're pretty shallow compared to other dives that we've been doing in this season and in this leg. NA123, we're at 123 meters right now. And if you've been watching, you've probably noticed that we're in this interesting shelf habitat where we're kind of going back and forth between sediment, sandy, soft bottom and these big rocky outcroppings with some pretty high vertical relief depending on the location of the particular outcrop. So we've seen some corals and sponges, and a lot more sponges than we saw initially when we came up the slope. So that's pretty much where we're at the moment.
And our next decision is how we want to get to CJ from CE. We've got about 30 meters before we hit CE.
Okay.
And I'll just put in another ship move here to get us there. Bridge nav.
Yeah, that'd be great.
30 meters, bearing 005. So to get to CJ, are you thinking about following this contour line or exploring any of these other potential features?
So at this point, I'm the author of this dive plan, and I kind of just sprinkled waypoints all about these features that might look like they're interesting. Let me pull up the high pack so we can look at the same thing.
Sure, and let me know if you want me to zoom out.
Lucy, are you lead C or which one are you?
I'm lead A.
Lead A, thank you.
Like, there we are. Ooh, yeah. See, I like your high pack better, much better than my my maps that I have in my dive plan. And is this what's the background of this map we're looking at right now?
This is on slope. This is the slope map.
Okay, great. Yeah, we can follow along the contour line if that's the simplest. And can you zoom out just a little bit?
Sure.
I want to see some other waypoints we have in this area to make sure CJ is where we want to go.
Bump down a little bit here for you.
Yeah, CJ and CF look kind of boring. but they're there. They're bumps. What if we hit that feature that's directly north of us and then bumped over west to CJ?
Roger, that works. Do you want to hit the right or left side of it? Because right now, with our current heading, we'll hit the kind of right side of it.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. So if we hit the right side of it, maybe we could go over the top and then head to CJ.
That sounds great.
Bob, you want to check the focal length on Herc right now? I want to pull out and see where we're at.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent.
And Lizzie, the
Same
last
box.
watch mentioned you may be interested in a transect. Is that something you want to do from CE up to this feature north of us or on the way over to CJ?
How far do we have between us and the feature north of us?
From here and that feature, we have about 200 meters.
Perfect. Yeah, let's do a transect over to that feature.
Sounds good. I'm going to let the ship move. We're about halfway through a 30-meter step, so we can let that one play out and let the pilots get set up. Does that sound good for a transect?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Nods. Perfect. So we got lasers on, perfect. And this is 200 meters, and I saw that you're looking for slightly speedier transects at 0.5 knots. Is that correct?
So I just have to.
Yeah, I figured with.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe
yeah.
slower.
0.3.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm a little shocked. We're in an MPA right now. It could be really old and all, but does look pretty old, but I was not anticipating as much line as we've been seeing.
Yeah. We already had one incident this season. So.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Just wanted to make sure that was okay. Bridge nav. 200 meters, bearing 005.
That is part of her job.
Luckily, I have two computers because my one of my laptops is insisting on updating and shutting down. So gotta back up.
Have they been doing transects?
Yeah, they've done a
Yep.
couple of transects.
4? I think we've done 4, if I'm not mistaken.
And Lizzie, I just did a slight bearing change to 0 to make sure that we actually hit this right side of the contour and don't end up in the purple.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Is this,
so that moves in now.
Is camera angle okay?
Yeah, that looks fine to me.
Okay, ready?
I could be talked.
You could be talked into it? I hope so. Too late.
Some good sales.
You already said yes. Say T5B. Oh.
Oh.
Bold color choice.
These almost look like those worn rocks, Julie, that you were talking about at Santa Barbara Island, was it?
Yeah, they do look a little worn, like they could have maybe been part of a high energy wave zone at some point.
Yeah.
I think we
at
have
an earlier time.
Some possible squid mating behavior happening in Argus cam.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Oh, look at that.
Sorry to interrupt.
A little bit on Argus cam out.
Oh gosh.
A new cuddle puddle for today. Last night was Soul. Petrali Sol tonight, squid.
Hey, it's nice to have some evening entertainment.
Oh, wow.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Can't say I've ever seen that before.
It's definitely been a busy squid season off the coast. Monterey has had a incredibly high year, and I'm guessing it's been pretty prolific down here too.
I'm going to assume these are the market squid, the Oligo opalescens.
Yeah, sure look like it.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty amazing. The squid population we have a very large biomass of squid in the Challenge National Marine Sanctuary, and it's a really important foraging resource for just all sorts of pelagic fish and pinnipeds, and even some whales that come into the area. And it's also a really important fishery here.
You gotta pay attention to
Paul, I'm barely hearing you. Give me a comm check, please. No, we need it on SPL. That's where I set levels. But turn it off on the other one.
Are you, oh. Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Very, very, oh, your mic's pretty far. Yeah, it doesn't take much and your voice will go away. You gotta try that again?
Hold on 1 second. Are we okay how we're lined up here?
Yeah, well, I think it's okay, because we want maximum ahead visibility.
Yeah.
You need to hear something. In other words, you got to say something for me to see it on the meters. So I don't know what you're on.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Oh, come on, you're an ice pilot.
Close enough.
That squid event was kind of the highlight so far.
I've only been in a seat 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're in the sort of the northwest portion of the Richardson No-Take Reserve.
Southwest. We're on the
southwest,
the bottom half. Mm-hmm.
Bottom half. Okay, got it.
And what's a no-take reserve?
A good question. A no-take reserve means that there's no fishing activity allowed at all. It's completely protected. And the no-take reserve for Richardson Rock was originally established in 2003, and then it was expanded into federal waters. So it started in the state waters, which is 0 to 3 nautical miles, and then it was expanded out from there into the sanctuary boundary out 6 nautical miles. And it's exciting to be diving in the reserves now to see with this level of full protection, what the community dynamic is here compared to an area outside of a no-take reserve. We have a network of these no-take reserves within Challenge National Marine Sanctuary and along the California mainland coast as well. And it's not a complete closure of the sanctuary. There's only about 21% of the waters within the boundaries of the Challenge National Marine Sanctuary are closed to fishing.
Is this bioturbation on the left here, or are these rock clumps? I know we can't zoom in, but it just seems kind of like a weird array there.
I think it's rock.
Huh. Some of it look kind of patterned. It's just well-arranged rocks.
Actually, no, I think it might be both. I see clearly.
A little bit on the right now,
what you were referring to. Mm-hmm.
What did you think it looked like?
Some sort of bioturbation. Just kind of looks like little mounds of sediment.
Oh. What's our depth?
So the backscatter is really interesting for this region, and backscatter, for anyone who may not be familiar, is in mapping of the seafloor, it's an acoustic measurement where sound is sent from a transducer, and how quickly it comes back after it hits the seafloor kind of gives you an idea of the depth, while how hard the return is gives you an idea of how soft or hard the bottom is below you. And so backscatter is how hard or soft the seafloor is. And the backscatter for this region is very swirly, twirly, really interesting. And I think we're seeing in this location where we're at now is this like kind of soft bottom channel where the sediment has gathered, but we're transecting towards another pretty darn interesting rocky outcrop. So that's where we're headed right now. Unfortunately, we have come across quite a few lines from old fishing gear that might have gotten lost. And so we're transiting at a nice safe speed to make sure we're not running into anything or getting tangled in any lines floating.
As part of our marine debris problem out here in the Challenge National Marine Sanctuary. We get lost fishing gear and monofilament line for areas, especially if it's around Richardson Rock when it used to be a popular fishing area. And yes, as divers, we encounter it and we usually try to pick it up when we can. Or if it's traps and other larger gear, we try to get the exact coordinates of it and then work with our partners to come and retrieve the gear off the seafloor. The squid are back.
Yeah, gorgeous shot with Herc there too.
How do they retrieve the gear?
They'll go down. They can use lift bags, and it depends on the type of gear it is. For lobster traps, they can cut it up a little bit and then use lift bags to bring it up to the surface. Sometimes if it's been there a while, or if it's been through if we've had a really good winter season with a lot of high wave energy, the traps can become buried, and so it can be partially unburying it and then bringing the trap components up to the surface. Larger things like trawl nets and stuff, that can be where you have to sort of try to cut it away from the rock, because usually it gets stuck on some sort of a rocky reef outcropping or something. And then they can usually coordinate with some surface help to try to pull that sort of gear up.
But you're not doing it this kind of depth though, right?
No, this is with scuba diving. But if we did see something out here, we should jot down the coordinates of it too. I know in the past, I believe we found a lost ROV one time that we were able to get the coordinates and try to go out and get it. And I think the fisheries folks were really happy about that.
They get it?
They did. Oh. Yeah. Do you remember that one, Lizzie? Or was that? Yeah, it was a while ago.
Is it finders keepers?
No, they returned it.
Yeah, I didn't. I think that might have been before my time.
Yeah. For those of you aboard the Nautilus, have you seen these squid boats out with the big light boats at all? Fishing for squid?
You've seen fishing boats in the distance. I don't know what.
Yeah, and cargo, but
lights. Well, there is fishing boats on the.
Yeah.
With big lights.
It's been pretty foggy out all day.
Yeah, we haven't seen much.
That's true. It's pretty thick.
Yeah, I was surprised how foggy it's been. I'm sure it's even foggier out there. When was the last time you were out on Nautilus, Julie? Was that in 2017?
I was out on the Nautilus in 2016, and then I supported the cave dive ops off of a dive boat in 2017. We met up with the Nautilus. We were coordinating with the ship on trying to use technology to image potential areas that we thought might be caves, and then we were working with Kenny Broad and the cave diving team to then go and see if we could find caves and then do some mapping of them. That project's still going on. I think it's happening this year too. It's been, I think, tough with COVID, but I believe they're still planning on doing it this year.
And I think I heard one of the female cave divers on NPR the other day. Can you remind me of her name?
Yes, Jill Heinerth. She is the real deal.
Her.
Yeah, I totally admire her. Yes, so she's been part of the team too. She didn't come out in 17, but she's been part of the team in 18 and 19 and doing a lot of the photography and using some of the different. It's the sunfish. It's a really cool sort of a underwater autonomous vehicle that can go in and completely map the cave, and then the divers were ground truthing it too, going in and doing some of the same measurements. And they worked mainly off a shallow cave off of Santa Cruz Island, the Seal Cove Cave, and then they've been working, Osborne Bank is the other area. I think that's where they're planning to go this year. It's deeper. It's a deeper cave system. But yeah, it's been really great following along with the whole cave diving team on that particular project.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
And it's new habitat for the sanctuary. I know, it's new habitat for the National Marine Sanctuary. I mean, we really haven't explored cave habitats before, and there's been, horn sharks and lobster, and they've seen some gorgonian fans and sea fans and sea lions, and so it's nice to sort of be able to characterize that as part of some of the resources that we're trying to protect.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Oh, and if you're just joining us and you're hearing us reminisce about Nautilus and our last trips on the Nautilus, that's because Julie and I are coming to you from our home/offices. So we are remotely tuning in to help lead these dives and narrate what we're seeing for you, thanks to some really awesome technology. And I must say, I do miss the snacks. I know I've said this before, and the food.
I know.
And the camaraderie on board, because you're all getting up at the same time. It's just me alone in my apartment.
I miss that too. Yes.
Yeah.
There's something about being out at sea doing this.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just glad that we're able to pull this off, the telepresence technology and being able to, connect live to the Nautilus and be able to conduct our mission and keep the science going and the exploration going is fantastic.
Yeah, there are not many ships that are able to do this and able to get in field work, especially not NOAA ships right now. The Nautilus is very uniquely poised with its already existing outstanding telepresence system, which we've been able to take advantage of to be able to lead these dives from shore. So this will be our only field work for this year because of the pandemic. So we're super grateful to be able to join in.
Is the Okeanos not out right now? The NOAA ship of exploration?
They're not operating this season.
They're not operating this season, so Nautilus is it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you'll hear other voices leading these dives for NA123. other than sanctuary folk like Chris Caldo, which you heard earlier, Julie and I on this watch, we're also joined with some of our partners from the National Marine Fisheries Service, who are also very excited to be a part of this, because normally, I forget how many bunks we would have had if we were able to join, but this remote access also allows us to incorporate and loop in a lot of other experts with knowledge and skills and abilities here on the West Coast to help interpret these dives and guide where they're going that we wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So NIPS is also very grateful that we've been able to loop them in and include them on this.
Yeah, it's a fantastic collaboration. So many different expertise, the people with different expertises that are participating. I always learn something new participating in these collaborations. It's wonderful.
I always need to brush up on my IDs.
Me too.
But we have, oh shoot, so I need to, sorry about that. So anyone who's listening, I also need to log back into the science chat because my other computer is restarting, which had my science chat on it. So if you've been messaging us, I'm sorry, I haven't been able to see it because Julie also has not been able to log in. So
yeah, I'm not getting access shortly. Right now.
So we're about 40 meters off from finishing this transect.
Okay.
Slightly uneventful, but hoping some of the slope ahead of us will be more interesting.
Are those are spotted ratfish in the lower left corner?
We have, I saw a rockfish in the lower left corner, I think green striped rockfish, but we have been seeing the striped ratfish.
Okay.
They're very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there hasn't been any crashes, right? Over that? Oh, yeah.
Seeing a lot of shell hash here on the bottom too.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder where that's coming from.
Whoa.
Giant
rock.
clam.
I see a rock up ahead.
I came out of nowhere.
Huh. Looks like it fell off a ship or something.
So where would that rock come from?
We had someone in the science chat who's explaining a little bit about that. Let me see. Oh, shoot. Oh, that's gone by now. We had, I think, yeah, Jamie Conrad was saying this is, as you can see, this rock is very rounded. It's worn. This used to be the land portion of a paleo shoreline once upon a time. And so these are like the big, rough, rocky features and kind of like, I don't want to say cliff sides and misinterpret which she had originally said, but it's not in the science chat anymore, so I can't see it. But this used to be like the land portion of a paleo shoreline, and then everything deeper was what was more eroded. So she was saying that's where those larger rocky features were coming from. And then it's being filled in with sediment slowly.
Cool, thank you.
This was a beach at one point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, at the end of the last ice age, the sea level was about 300, 400 feet lower. Yeah. And the 4 northern Channel Islands were all one island they call Santa Rosa, and it was quite a large island. And then as the sea level began to rise, eventually the peaks of the large island became the 4 northern Channel Islands. So it's really interesting looking at some of these contours and just the bathymetry around the northern Channel Islands. It's really kind of fun that we're exploring it right now. Look at all the evidence of what once was.
And there are multiple paleo shorelines, right? So this isn't based on the highs and lows of the glaciers in times past. There's multiple, if I'm understanding right.
Yes.
Potentially.
All right, so shoreside, our transect is about to end. We've got 3 meters left. Would you like to look around here or just start heading northwest over this interesting feature?
I don't see the interesting feature, but yeah, we can try to go over it.
if it's there. I know that there was some, yeah, I know looking from the dive plan that these features were very much potential.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we had that fabulous one behind us, but I can see the contours, or not the contours, but the slope isn't as extreme in our immediate area for any of these.
Yeah. Okay. Well, transect is complete now.
Okay. Yeah, we can head over to CJ, maybe more towards the lighter blue part of that feature, hoping we hit some slope.
Bridge nav. Step 30 meters, bearing 282.
282.
282I.
We're done now, right?
We're done. It's going to be Al's favorite time now.
Look at all the squid from the Argus camera.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, they are just hanging out. Now we understand
They're like
why
in the light.
lights. Yeah, the light boats work so well.
And Lizzie, to clarify about CJ, you're wanting to hit, are you wanting to hit the bright blue area above CJ or below CJ?
Below. Can we go for below?
Sure can. So pilots, let's do a slight change to 275.
275.
Bridge nav. Can we change the bearing to 275, please?
Yeah, I have a feeling we hit the highest relief spots earlier, which were really cool. We got some good samples too. We found a couple of Ophelia reefs that are very crumbly. But I think those will definitely make it into the highlight. Those are fantastic.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I was noticing that some of the sampling that we potentially would be doing is looking, doing some sediment samples for looking for microplastics, looking sort of like what the microbial community makeup is. And also, I think it's really cool that we're collecting water samples for eDNA and also microplastics. I mean, microplastics is just becoming such an emerging impact issue to study and understand. So I don't know if they completed those objectives on the last leg before our watch shift took over outside the MPA or not.
Let's see.
We did collect 2 cores for microplastics and microbes, as well as water samples for eDNA and microplastics, as well as some megafauna urchins for microplastic analysis.
It's a little hard to hear you. Oh.
Yeah.
Can everyone else hear Steve?
You hear me okay?
It's just kind of quiet, but we can hear you.
Oh, a crab with some sponge in its legs.
Got some loot. Want to zoom in there, Al?
Oh, carrying with back legs. Interesting.
Luggage.
Huh.
Do they eat sponges?
No, this is a family of crabs that uses its rearmost pair of appendages to carry camouflage items. So oftentimes you might find them with bits of sponge or coral that they'll use to kind of distract. I mean, I'm fooled. I don't know about you all.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't see a thing.
Sponge or crab, can't tell.
All right, moving on. Zoom out.
It seems like that takes a little concentration.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely distracted us.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah.
Is that a highlight? I think that was a highlight.
Yeah, I'll put a highlight in.
Was it? What would you rank it?
Well, I mean, it wasn't like, okay, so if it was on a sponge or coral, I would put it on like a 4.
Wow. Because it's on a sponge or coral.
But it was just walking across the bottom. Yeah, and oftentimes you actually can find them using bits of sponge and coral that they're on as camouflage. And sometimes you find them using bits of sponge of coral for other organisms that you don't even see in the area, which is really interesting.
That makes me happy.
So that they're actually.
Well, so it's kind of like a clue because it had the sponge on it. So maybe it was coming from this. It was sort of a precursor coming to this reef here.
Yeah.
Well, this is looking pretty.
There was a great highlight from Okeanos cruise I was on a few years ago where we saw one of those, and it was carrying like this perfect Bob Ross style sponge on top of its head, but looked like it was wearing a wig.
Well, it is almost Halloween.
Yeah. Wow. There's a lot of little sponges here.
I think this is that sloped area that was in the vicinity we were targeting, and we just came a little bit further east of it.
Yeah.
And so we are at CJ, or we're still going over to CJ?
Correct. Yeah.
Eyes peeled on that.
What was that?
Just keep your eyes peeled for.
Oh yeah, I'm looking.
We are heading northwest
I had thought
CJ right now.
Yes,
that feature was nothing.
Yeah, the blue spot to the south of CJ is our target.
And I was thinking if that amount of slope meant there wasn't much interesting, that the rest of the dive was going to be very dull.
I was thinking maybe the better tool is not actually the slope map on HYPACK, but rather the sonar itself. Since we're in a flat terrain, these big outcrops will stand out much more strongly against the background in the sonar than probably with the HYPACK.
Yeah.
Go the other way.
It's quite a big pile of rocks.